Hello, welcome to Bensly Melody Lab. I'm happy to see you here again. I know you have been watching other videos we posted and we've made about the series we are working on. Now, we're teaching you how to learn music from scratch in the easiest way you can think of. Yeah, I understand that learning music can be so tough and hard, but in this page, we've tried to make it very easy for everybody to understand. That is why we're taking it bit by bit to be able to understand it in itself. When you learn music by gathering too many informations each time, you may get confused and you may not understand fully what you're doing. But when you learn it bit by bit, continue to learn it bit by bit, master the ones you've learned, then you see you're going to be making good progress in your journey to learning music. And that is what we are here to help you achieve. Now we are taking it step by step. If you have followed us from the first episode we've had up to now, you will see that you are progressing actually. So I urge you to please go back to our previous episodes to be able to get where we started from and also to learn it up to this episode. Now we are entering into the 5th episode, and in this episode we'll be talking about how to build your first major scale, which is a C major, and also after that we'll be talking about intervals. Now why are these very important? You know, the C is very important in music. It is the grandfather, it is the basics, fundamental part of learning music. That is why the key C is very important. There's no way you'll be able to talk about music without talking about key C. There's no way you'll be able to talk about learning the keyboard or any instrument without talking about the key C. It's the basic of which every other key springs from. So in this particular episode, we'll be teaching you how to build your first scale, which definitely we're going to be starting from the key C. So we'll be doing the key C major on how to build your first scale on it. And also when we'll be talking about the interval, we'll show you also the relationship between the scales and also the interval, because it is with the intervals you are able to build your skills going forward in other keys. And now talking about the key C and building scales, there is this formula that we have been taught over the years on how to build your scales, to know the intervals between the notes, or which is the distance you're going to be traveling between the notes to give you a particular chord. You talk about the building your scale, right? There is something we've been taught, and that is movement from one note to the other in your whole journey of building the scale. Now, in the previous episode, we've talked about the sharp and flats. That was the whole notes, the half notes, and all that. Now, we're going to be telling you how to move from one note to the other in a way that is going to help you build your scale, which is following the whole notes, half notes, whole note, whole note, whole note, half note. I know it may sound so big. There's a way they taught us this in the past, using the tone and the semitone. Let me explain. The tone is the same with the whole note, while the semitone is the same with the half note. So a tone is two half notes or two semitones. So two semitones make up one tone. When you want to move from one whole note to the other whole note, you're moving two semitones. You understand? Or two half notes. So using this formula in this scale building, we'll be talking about the tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. I'm going to show you, this is what I mean, by the tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. It's a formula that you can use to build any kind of scale, especially the major scale. When you're playing any notes on any instrument or on the keyboard, you're going to be following this formula, and that's what's going to be telling you the major scaling movement, which is the tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Now, let us dive a bit and put it into solfa notation and see how it sounds. You know solfa notation to be the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? Now, how do they build these notes? It's still using the tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone formula, which is the do, re is tone, re, mi is tone, mi, fa is semitone, right? So we have tone, tone, semitone. Then the next one, tone, 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 which is fa, sol is tone, sol, la is tone, la, ti is tone, then ti, do is semitone. In that case, we're having tone, tone, semitone, that is the mi, fa, and tone, 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 semitone, the ti, do. So in the major scale of C, we're having the two semitones there are the mi, fa and the ti, do. Now, when you take it to other keys, you're still going to follow the same formula, but in this case, it will be falling into different other notes. But just for you to know, that is a formula that guides you in building the major scale. So building our first major scale in C, we're having the tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, which is a whole note, half note, whole note, half note. And just to buttress a little bit further, when we're talking about the sharp and flats, we made mention of the white notes, the black notes. That is in relation to the key C, because when you go to other keys, the sharp and flats definitely is going to fall into some other white notes and some other black notes. Also in this case, talking about this whole notes, half notes, semitone, or tone. Especially in key C, which is the basics, right, that we're working on right now. We can actually still say that the black notes on the keyboard, for instance, represent the tones, while those ones without the black keys represent the semitone. For instance, when you look at this now, you can see that from C, D, we have a black note between them. The D, E, we have a black note between them. You understand? So those two black notes there represent the tone, which is the first two tones. Then the E, F, there's no black notes between them, as you can see. So there is no tone there. It's now semitone, because the journey between the E to F is half, which is a semitone, right? So the ones that have the black keys demarcating them represent the tone, while the ones without the black keys demarcating them is the semitone. So that's why we have two black keys as tone, then the other three black keys in that octave as tone. So we have tone, semitone, then tone, semitone to make up a full octave. So when you go to the next octave, you repeat the same thing: tone, semitone, semitone, all through other octaves. So that is you building your major scales. You can do that for key C, you can do that for key D, you can do that for key E. You understand? So if you are understanding what I'm saying, I want you to take a little bit of assignment to go and do the one for key D and identify the tone, the semitone, the tone, and the semitone in that particular key. Also know that the two black notes representing the tones and the three other black notes representing the tones is basically for key C. When you go to other keys, they will fall into other notes. That is why the basic thing you should know is the formula itself, not really about the white key or the black key. So when you know the formula, which is a tone, semitone, tone, semitone, anywhere it falls, you'll be able to identify that this is a tone, this is a tone, and this is a semitone. Now let us talk about intervals in music. The interval is a distance between two notes, like from C to D, C to E, C to F, so it's a distance between two notes in music. That's the interval. And now what does it help you to do? It helps you to create chords, to help you to maintain scales, and to also write music, because in this case you'll be able to know through understanding chords, you'll be able to know what note and what notes are pairable that you can pair together to give you a good sound. Now when you play these intervals, for instance, you have the C to D, C to C, D, C, E, C, F, for instance, or D, E, any of them, the intervals between the two notes gives you a particular sound. Sometimes these sounds are sweet, sometimes the sounds are tense, but it helps you to build your scales properly. It helps you also to build your chords properly, because when you write music, you need to definitely understand chords and how it works. So the interval helps you to be able to mesh 2, 3, or 4 different notes together to give you a particular sound that you actually want. So now the interval here is a distance between these two notes. Scales give you a collection of notes to work with. For instance, we're talking about the major scale. The major scale, we're having the C to C in an octave. To C, we're having the C, D, E, F, G, because it gives you the full tone, semitone, tone, semitone, right? So now this note, it's kind of the number of notes you can work with in that particular piece of music. Now intervals helps you to measure the distance between them. You understand? It helps you to measure the distance between each of them, and that's how it helps you to create melodies, harmonies, and chords, like I've mentioned. So understanding both will actually help you make everything else in music fall in place and very easy. If you understand your skills, understand the intervals, understand how it works, it's going to actually help you make good music and understand music when you see one. Alright, if you have learned something today, please don't forget to like, comment, and also subscribe. Just click that button and subscribe. You're not paying for it actually, so just hit the button, subscribe, and also hit the notification bell, so that anytime I post any new video, you'll be the first person to see it. So if you know you like what we're doing, please subscribe. Now, as a recap, I can bet that you have learned skill, the C major scale. Talking about the C to C, you've learned the tone, semitone, tone, semitone. You've learned the whole notes, the half notes, the movement, between them to give you this major scale. You've learned that black and white keys are only specific to the key C. When it goes to other keys, maintain the major scale, it may fall on different other keys, other notes like the white or black, not as it is for the key C. You've also learned the distance between them, which is the interval we talked about. So you've learned all this, and I believe that with this you'll be able to understand music better now. Also, go back to our previous episodes to see where we started from, to see what we have said about the sharp and flats, what we talked about music and all that. So you'll be able to bring them together to grow, to follow us on this journey of learning music in the easiest way. Don't forget, we are still creating more episodes because it's a step-by-step movement. And if you follow us on this journey, I bet you, before we were done, you'll be good in music. So with this knowledge we've gathered so far, especially with our today's lessons, we will now be going forward to create our first chord. I will learn how to create chords now using the scales you've learned, also then with the intervals, the distance between them, and also be able to know how to create our first chord. Thank you for watching Bensly Melody Lab. I'm very happy that you're here with me today, and I'm expecting you to be here with me in the next one. Do not forget, click the like button, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget the notification bell, because that is what's going to tell you when we're going to post in our next video. And I don't want you to miss it. If you're joining us on this journey, please let me see you always return to watch our videos. Thank you very much for watching us today.